So it's been really warm here for the last few weeks, as I've said in my last few videos, like unseasonably warm. Well, yesterday and today it is back well under freezing. So my summer sewing is feeling a little more like planning and a little less like I'm gonna get to wear this, even though it's gonna be 80 this week in like 3 days. Nevertheless, I said that I was gonna finish sewing my Syd Tie top this week, and I have made good progress on it. I did the hemming over the weekend because it's boring and it takes a while and I can just put in a podcast and kind of go. So the hem turned out really nice on it, but I have been working to get the sleeves pinned in, and there's gathers in the shoulder in the sleeve on this. So I've been working on that today so that we could get started in doing that together. So the only things I have left are the sewing the sleeve in and then serging it and then ironing the whole thing, and then we'll be done, and then I will get to show it to you. So I'm excited to do that. I also thought that we could talk about my future knitting plans today. We've been doing a lot of sewing, I kind of go from one to the other a lot. So I'm thinking that while I work on my current sweater, I can talk about what my next upcoming projects are for knitting. I just placed the order for yarn for my next 4 projects, which felt like a really wild order to me because I put myself on a supply ban for so long that like buying supplies that aren't like thrifted and are just new feels like very special and kind of fun. So let's get this project finished up and then let's talk about next projects. Now that the Syd Tie top is done, I will try that on for you guys in a minute. I thought we could talk about my upcoming knitting projects, which admittedly happen a lot slower than my sewing projects do. But since I'm on the sleeves of this one, I started thinking about what I was going to do next. And I knew if I wanted to buy the yarn online, that a lot of that comes from Europe. So I wanted to get it ordered so that when I was finished with this, I had the yarn I wanted. So the first, I don't know what order I'm gonna make these in, but one of the sweaters that I added to my queue and I ordered yarn for, these are all things that I ordered yarn for. It's called the Isle Pullover by Brianna Mason, and this one really caught my eye because it's a raglan, which is what I'm knitting right now, but it's got some cool texturing and details on it that I really like. It's got a split hem. The sleeves have a cool texture on it. It's a mock turtleneck, and it has sleeves that fold up, and it just looks like a fun take on a classic raglan. and I thought it would challenge me in terms of like skill without going like straight into color work. So I'm really excited about that. I ordered, I think they call for wool. Most of these call for wool, but I am on a lower budget and my skin is pretty sensitive to wools, so I like to like touch them before I use them a lot of the time. So I opted for cotton on a lot of this, so I bought Drops Paris for 3 out of 4 of these projects because I like the way cotton feels, I like the way it wears, I like that it washes. And I bought a cornflower blue color, which is like the most beautiful, like almost sky blue color, depending on what pictures you look at. And I think it'll really show this texture on the sweater really, really well. And I think it'll be comfortable for fall or spring. So I think as a transitional piece, like where I'm living, it'll be really nice. Then I'm also looking forward to jumping into some color work, but in a raglan, because I know that I can handle that. So I'm trying to skill stack a little bit so I don't feel so overwhelmed. This is called the Daisy Sweater, and it's the chunky version. So it's knitted in a worsted weight. Yeah, a worsted weight yarn. So I'm using Drops Paris on this as well. And these examples are in like navy and a natural color. And this is generally probably something I'm wearing in the spring, winter. I wanted some bright colors. And while I like navy, it just didn't feel like the right move. And the tan color that a lot of people use in their sweaters, it's so beautiful. It makes me look so sick. So I'm not doing that, but I did get a really pretty royal blue for the base of it, and then the white and the yellow for the flowers. So I'm really excited for how this one is going to knit up. It's my first jump into color work. But since the sweater is a raglan, I felt pretty comfortable doing that, and like learning how to pick up floats, those kinds of things, I felt pretty comfortable doing because skill-wise, that was the only skill I was going to learn. The only thing that I think I'll probably change is that I tend to like a cuff that doesn't flop around for whatever reason. That drives me crazy. So I'll probably do a tighter cuff on it, but it's oversized and it looks really comfortable. And something that I could throw on in the middle of summer, so I'm looking forward to jumping into this one. The next thing that I have is another step-by-step sweater. That's what this one is. I did not do the German short rows on this, which we'll see if I like that or not. I generally think that if they're included in patterns, they probably need to be in most patterns like they are. So I'll do that one, but with the German short rows, so I can learn that. So I might start there, we'll see. And I got a like deep red color, also in the Drops Paris, the 100% cotton. I think the color is called Bordeaux, so it's not like a fire engine red. It's kind of a little more, it's like a little deeper, maybe a touch of like a berry tone, but I think it just reads as dark red, but we'll see. I think that one will be really nice for the holidays. I wanted to do like a holiday specific sweater, but I also don't love when I have things that I feel like I can only wear for like a month out of the year. So I opted for red because I've wanted to add a red sweater to my wardrobe for winter for a while. So, and last but not least is another colorwork sweater, and it's this nocturnal jumper, which is like the coolest like fall Halloween sweater that I've ever seen in my life, and I just kept coming back to it. Now the colors that they use, the tan, the orange, and black, those just generally don't look good on me. And I kept playing around with like colors that I wanted to use for it, but I opted for Drops Charisma, which I think is 100% wool, so we'll see if I like that or not. I'm open to just wearing a long sleeve underneath it. But then I opted for the medium gray and the white, or the ivory and the black, which black is not my best color, but gray looks pretty good on me. And of all the color combinations that I looked at, it was the one that I kept coming back to, so that's what I opted for. And I think this has a circular yoke and some cool details. There's corrugated ribbing, which I think looks really cool on it. These are all top down, I believe, and it is designed to be a little bit oversized, which I think is fun. So I would love to have that for, you know, the fall, because who doesn't love like a cool Halloween sweater? You see less Halloween sweaters than you do Christmas sweaters, you know. As far as which one I'm gonna start with, depending on, I think almost all of them except for the nocturnal jumper have German short rows, so I might just start with the red step-by-step sweater again, but doing the German short rows in it, so that I can get comfortable with those on something that doesn't feel quite so high stakes. Because if I have to pull out a single color and, you know, frog back into a spot, like, I'm not gonna feel as bad about it, because I'm not like, even on this one I did stripes, and whoop, I just dropped my yarn. And I just like doing the solid color. I think I'm gonna be able to like really understand how they work and get them to like get my technique down on them. So my guess is that I'll start there, but if the dopamine is in charge, then I'll probably start with the daisy sweater. It just looks so stinking fun. And I mean, I don't know if I can do color work, but I didn't know I could knit last February, and here I am like almost finished with a sweater. So you don't learn things unless you try. So I'm sure I will be updating you guys on what I'm working on and how I'm doing with it. I don't usually start more than one project at a time, because I get overwhelmed with getting things finished and then I feel like I'm never finishing things. So I'll probably only do one at a time, but we shall see. And I'm very excited to take you guys along on this me learning how to knit journey. I think that's all I have on knitting. Do you want to see the finished Syd Tie top on me? Let's try it on. Okay, so obviously this is not how I would style it to go out in public, but it turned out so good. I think I would, obviously I'm going to want to wear a tank top underneath this, but I didn't have one down here, so I just threw it on because I just like don't love the gaps or skin showing generally. The fit turned out really well. I think I could still use a little more space right up here, but overall the fit is really great. I added about 2 to 3 inches of length. The original one sat up here on me and it didn't look right. The pattern was made for somebody who's 5'7" and I'm like 5'9", so I knew I needed a little bit of length. I have a long torso. I wanted it to sit in the right spot on my hip, and this is about the right spot on my hip. I think on the next version I shortened the sleeves on this version. Attach this. I shortened the sleeves on this version, and the sleeves kind of have like extra fabric out here so that they do whatever they're going to do, the shape of the sleeve. I think I would straighten it out just for my taste. I would straighten it out, and if it's going to be a puff sleeve, I want it to be just a little bit shorter, so that it sits above my, that's why I have it pushed up, so that it sits above my elbow so that I can move around in the summer, because, you know, when it's 80% humidity and it's 100 degrees outside, everything gets sweaty, including the armpit, the elbow pits. So all in all though, this turned out really well. It's super easy to sew. Definitely like confident beginner friendly. It's not all like intuitive, but the directions are like so great that like if you're new to sewing, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend this to you. I like that it's roomy, so I feel like I can move around in it. When I wear a tank top underneath it with like shorts or whatever, I think it'll be really cute and really comfortable with denim. And will I be making this again? Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna adjust the sleeves. And that's about it as far as fit goes. Like, I'm kind of in the no complaints at this point, which I just sewed like straight size. I didn't do a full bust adjustment or anything on it. I ended up just going up. My first test, the one I tested, this one, which is a much heavier fabric. You can see the sleeves were longer. This was a size 18, and on paper it should have been about right, but I knew that my bust was gonna change the size I needed, and this spot right here is always like a problem for me. My high bust is always just a little bit higher than a lot of people's bust wise. So I went up 2 sizes. I went up to the 22 just to be safe. I figured if it was a little more oversized, I wouldn't like be mad at it, and that I was right. I'm not mad at it at all. As far as next patterns or projects I'm gonna make, Easter's in like 2 weeks, and we go to Easter brunch, and I have clothes I could wear, but you know when you've been wearing the same stuff for so long and things don't quite fit you and you just kind of feel uncomfortable in it? That's where I'm at with this. So I don't think I would wear this because it's a no jeans place, but I'm thinking, since this fits, I do the dress version of this in some kind of fabric that I have already in my stash. It's probably purple. I have a lot of purple right now. And so I think my next project is going to be to make the dress version of this and challenge myself to get it done before Easter, which I think would be so fun. I think the purples I have are like definitely that like dark pastel-y lavender, so I think that would be perfect. Anyways, long story short, this fits. I love it. I think it's gonna be a great piece for summer because it's so thin and light, which is why I'm not mad to wear like a tank top underneath it. And I'm looking forward to sewing more of these and to try some more of Sydney Graham's patterns because this one was so easy and it fits so well. That's all I have for this week. Come back next week for more sewing, organizing. We'll find out. See you then.